Hello, young historians. In this video, we will review the questions you were asked about the most recent events in U.S. history from the 1980s until today. Use what you learn in this video about the events, people, decisions, actions, and consequences of important moments in recent U.S. history to help you demonstrate your mastery of understanding these moments and what they mean to us today. Good luck, and let's get started. Question 1. In 1981, President Ronald Reagan proposed a program to drastically cut back government spending and suggested an across-the-board tax cut. The purpose of this program was to provide incentives for individuals and businesses, encourage production and hiring of the unemployed, and free up money for investment. This reflects Reagan's focus on decreasing federal oversight of the economy. Question 2. There are several organizations that work to defend the rights and freedoms of their respective communities and to promote equal treatment and opportunities under the law. These organizations include the Mexican-American Legal Defense and Educational Fund, the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee, and the National Asian Pacific American Legal Consortium. All of these groups have the goal of protecting civil liberties. Question 3. In 1989, President George H.W. Bush outlined his three-part plan to address the issue of drugs in the United States. The first part of the plan focused on drug education, with an increase in funding for school and community prevention programs. The second part focused on drug treatment and prevention, with an increase in spending on drug treatment, especially for cocaine. The third part of the plan focused on law enforcement, with a goal of taking back the streets by punishing those who do evil. This policy led to an increase in arrests of citizens throughout the United States and backlash from citizens who believed it unfairly targeted racial minorities. Question 4. Sandra Day O'Connor was a significant figure in U.S. history because she helped create opportunities for women in law by being the first woman appointed to the Supreme Court. She was appointed by President Ronald Reagan in 1981 and served as an Associate Justice until her retirement in 2006. O'Connor's appointment to the Supreme Court was a historic moment for women in the legal profession and helped pave the way for greater gender equality in the field. Question 5. In August 1990, Iraq invaded Kuwait and threatened to invade Saudi Arabia. The U.S. and other countries condemned Iraq's actions and demanded that Iraq withdraw from Kuwait. When Iraq refused, the U.S. led a coalition of countries in a military campaign to force Iraq out of Kuwait. This military campaign, known as the Gulf War, began in January 1991 and lasted until February 1991. The primary result of U.S. involvement in the 1991 Gulf War was that a U.S.-led coalition drove Iraqi forces from Kuwait. Question 6. The Iran-Contra Affair was a political scandal that occurred in the United States during the Reagan administration. It involved the secret sale of arms to Iran, which was then under an arms embargo, and the use of the proceeds to fund Contra rebels in Nicaragua in violation of a congressional ban. The scandal came to light in 1986 and led to a decline in public confidence in the federal government. Question 7. A multinational coalition of support contributed to U.S. success in the 1991 Gulf War because it allowed for a coordinated and united response to Iraq's invasion of Kuwait. The coalition, which included countries from the Middle East, Europe, and Asia, was formed to demonstrate international opposition to Iraq's aggression and to provide military, logistical, and financial support for the military campaign to liberate Kuwait. The coalition's combined military strength and resources, as well as its broad international support, were key factors in the success of the military campaign. Question 8. NASA's research and development efforts have led to numerous technological advancements that have been adapted for commercial use, improving the lives of people around the world. The list of inventions, including improved solar energy panels, improved battery-powered tools, memory foam mattresses, quartz watches, and satellite television transmission, are all examples of commercial applications of technology created by NASA. NASA's work in space exploration and aeronautics has led to the development of new technologies and materials that have been applied in various fields, including energy, transportation, and consumer products. Question 9. The GATT, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, was a treaty created after World War II to promote international trade by reducing trade barriers such as tariffs and quotas. Trade agreements like GATT help to establish access to overseas markets by reducing trade barriers and promoting international trade. This allowed U.S. businesses to expand their reach and sell their products in new markets, boosting economic growth and creating jobs. Question 10. Impeachment is the process by which the U.S. House of Representatives brings charges against a federal official, including the president, for misconduct while in office. In the case of Bill Clinton, an argument was made by people who disagreed with the impeachment proceedings was that poor judgment in private behaviors did not qualify as high crimes and misdemeanors. This argument suggests that the actions for which President Clinton was being impeached, which related to his personal conduct, did not rise to the level of impeachable offenses as defined by the Constitution in the minds of many supporters of President Clinton. Question 11. In the 2000 presidential election, the outcome was uncertain due to a dispute over the vote count in Florida. The case eventually reached the Supreme Court, which issued a ruling in the case of Bush v. Gore. The court's decision effectively settled the outcome of the election, making George W. Bush the winner. This is an example of a judicial action directly affecting the political process, as the Supreme Court's ruling had a decisive impact on the outcome of the election. Question 12. New Orleans is located in a low-lying area, much of which is below sea level and is surrounded by water on 3 sides. The city is protected from flooding by a system of levees and flood walls, which are designed to hold back water from Lake Pontchartrain, the Mississippi River, and other waterways. When Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans in 2005, the storm surge caused the water levels in these waterways to rise rapidly, putting enormous pressure on the levees and flood walls. Unfortunately, many of the levees failed, causing widespread flooding and devastation in the city. In this short video, we have reviewed all 12 of the questions that you were asked in TFAR 3. Hopefully, you have now been empowered with the academic understanding and tools that will allow you to show how masterfully skilled you are in understanding and applying your academic knowledge to recalling and analyzing many of the important events in modern U.S. history that you will encounter on your State Academic Readiness Test, or STAR, this spring. Thanks for watching, and remember, history does not belong to us. We belong to it. Hans-Georg Gadamer.